Are we online yet? Okay. Those of you who are streaming, welcome. My apologies for being late. I've been up all night with emergencies. I haven't been to sleep yet, so I'll try to stay awake during meditation today. I can't tell you, when you said, we're here warming the city, I thought, those people are angels. You have no idea how much I need to hear that this morning. Anyway, it's all good, and God will take care of all of our stuff, all of your emergencies, whatever you dealt with during the night. I hope you slept. Mine wasn't daylight savings time related. Would to God it was something that simple, but that wasn't it. But anyway, it's all good. I figure if, where do you drive from? Karen comes from Brazelton. Yeah. I know Ernie and Avery are Madison, but I think Brazelton you may have the furthest. We have to give you a special award. Y'all had it for years. All right, we should have church now. That's what we should do. We're in agreement. Spirit of God, you are described in the scriptures as the helper. And but we need your help today. So you're always there, the standby, the paraclete. I know that you will stand by today, and you will help us. We thank you for it. Amen. You may remain standing, and we'll hit the official opening, and then our wonderful artist of the month.
And welcome to Metron.
Will come do her thing.
Metron is measure or sphere of influence, and we want to help you find your Metron. Through motivation, enlightenment, transcendence, renewal, outreach, and networking. Today is your day to find your Metron, and we hope you enjoy the service.
Buenos dias, beautiful people. Welcome to Metron. Give yourselves a hand. We're glad that you're here. Those of you that are logging on, wherever you are in the universe, thank you for allowing us to be a few minutes late, but we all got here in spite of daylight savings times and in spite of calamities and plagues and trials and tribulations and rain. We are all here, so it's going to be an excellent day. I was sharing last week about a video that I saw that it showed what happens to brain chemistry when it listens to music, and it really made me think about David, who was probably bipolar, and whatever. But this is before the days of medication. When they thought the demon was vexing him, David would come and play on his harp, and it would restore him to his sanity. And I was thinking about that last week. Last month, Judah was here, and his stuff is more worship oriented. Chelsea's coming from a different place, but it's still. The brain chemistry responds to the ministry. It's like the music, regardless. I don't think there's such a thing as secular versus sacred. It's all art, and it all came from God. And I mean, how many times have you had a secular song on the radio just minister to you more than 1,000 worship songs could, because it was what you needed to hear at that time, and it nearly was prophetic. How's that for putting a big responsibility on you? Chelsea's like, I just wanted to play a couple of songs. Do I have to be prophetic? Yes, young lady, you must rise to the occasion. Would you please welcome our awesome guest and friend and daughter and sister, Chelsea Shagg. Chelsea.
Boxes and the clowns have all gone to bed. You can hear happiness staggering on downstream. Footprints dressed in red. In the wind, it whispers, Mary. The room is drearily sweeping up the broken pieces of yesterday's life. And somewhere a queen is weeping. Somewhere a king has no wife. In the wind it cries, Mary. The traffic lights, they turn blue tomorrow. It's shining emptiness down on my bed. The tiny islands, they sail on downstream, 'cause the light they live is dead. And the wind, it cries, Mary. And will the wind ever remember the names has grown in the past? And with this crutch, his old age and his wisdom, and whispers, no baby, this will be the last. Ooh, in the wind it cries, Mary. Yeah. Na 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 na. Thank you. New perfume for my new baby. I said a new perfume for my new baby. I said a new perfume for my new baby. I wear a new perfume for my new baby. Ooh, she like it to know it whenever she show it. My phone with those kisses. Hey, baby, love, I miss it whenever she's away, babe. New perfume for my new baby. Chew the blooms for my new darling. Cause ka-boom, boom for my new darling. I wear a new perfume for my new baby. Now won't this new funky tune for my new baby. Ooh, she like it, I know it whenever she show it. My phone with those kisses. Hey, baby, love, I miss it whenever she's away, babe. New perfume for my new baby. Hey. And all my love, all my love, wanna give all my love. Ooh, she like it, I know it. Whenever she show it, my phone with those kisses. Hey baby love, I miss it whenever she's away, babe. Whenever she's away, babe. Ooh, she like it, I know it. Whenever she show it, my phone with those kisses. Hey baby love, I miss it whenever she's away, babe. No perfume, no farmer, no baby. Oh. Thank you. Thanks, guys. This next one is original, and it's called "I Need You, Babe." It's about kind of losing touch with your person, and you're like, wait, I just need you so naturally in the first place. Like, let's figure it out. So this is it. It's been dark for a little while. I need your love, I need your smile. 'Cause when you hurt, I hurt, but when you dance, I sing. I really love when you do your thing. I need you, babe, so naturally. Ooh, 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 ooh. I need you, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. I need you, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Little things come in between to build a wall between you and me, but I know it's there. Our love is strong. That's why I keeping on. I need you, baby, so naturally. Ooh, 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 ooh. I need you, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. I need you, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Baby, what's wrong? I wanna hear your truth. What's stirring inside of you? Bless your soul, bless your mind. We'll find your way in a matter of time. 'Cause I need you, baby, so naturally. Don't wanna fight no more. I want your peace. 'Cause I need you, baby, so naturally. Thank you. All right, this one I'm gonna need your help at the very end. We do a little thing together. I'll let you know when it comes up. But yeah, this is a song I wrote called "Kiss My Mind." If you kiss my mind, my body will follow. baby. I just got to say the way you make me feel. 'Cause you're cool at December, but you're warm like me. I just got to say, if you kiss my mind, my body will follow. If you kiss my mind, my body will follow. If you kiss my mind, my body will follow. If you kiss my mind, my mind, my mind. If you kiss my mind, my body will follow. If you kiss my heart, there will be no summer tomorrow. Ooh, if you kiss my mind, my body will follow. If you kiss my heart, there will be no sorrow tomorrow. If you want to, we can fly to outer space, baby. Hop into my space crew and show you all the stars. I just gotta say, baby. This is the part where you guys come in, so listen up. I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. Y'all sound good? I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. Let me hear you louder, come on. I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. Who do you see when you sing that? I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. One more time, big and loud. I can't let you get away. In my heart, you'll always stay. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you. Yeah, Thank you for your participation. Love you guys. Have a great time. I'll be here. Good morning, sun. I say good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. You know you got to get going if you're gonna make it shine. And you got the right away, baby, 'cause it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for carrying your L. So take a deep breath and throw away the pills, 'cause it's a good day from morning to night.
You gotta sing the rest of it now.
'Cause it's a good day from morning to night. 'Cause it's a good day from morning until night.
Chelsea Shag!
I'll play that one next time.
All right.
Oh, by the way, I left last time, but I had you live on my YouTube, like on my phone.
Right. If you know what she said she had to leave last week, but she kept the meditation on. I'm glad to know that it translates like that. That's good, because we're gonna do it again today. Once again, tell Chelsea how much we appreciate her being here today. And again, may I say, to the hippest congregation in the world, y'all are so cool. I bring worship in here, and y'all are like this. Or if we got to get funky, you're like, I can't let you get away. Y'all got moves and everything. I thought, this is the most versatile crowd, the most versatile, evolved, mature, wonderful crowd I've ever seen in my life. You just absolutely rock. You may be seeing it. I know I've referred to this before, but it cracked me up. Marshall was telling me one time he was singing something here. It had to have been, he must have been referring to Das because it sounded like something she would say. But he said, I'm singing this secular song, and it was something about a breakup, and I got to let you go. And she said, somebody in the crowd just said, you got to let her go. He said, it was like she was saying amen. I said, they're very supportive. You got to let that girl go. I'm like, that's our crowd. You know what I mean? We're here to support. We're here to support. Can I get a witness? I want to say, I think this is the first time Will's been back since his father transitioned. So I'm glad to see him, and thank you for keeping him in your prayers. And I have to say, I'm really proud of the way he's handled this whole thing. I talked to him. I think you were still in the room. It was just a few minutes after his dad passed. I think you were still in there with your siblings around the bed, and I talked to him, and he, I was prepared to comfort him, and he's like, you know what, this was so peaceful. He said, I'm trying to feel upset about it, but he said, there's just so much peace in this room. I mean, he ended up encouraging me, and I said, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with, and it's still, I'm sure, difficult, but just want you to know we've been thinking about, he's been streaming, but when you lose a really close loved one, it takes a while to get your equilibrium back, and you have to allow everybody the time. Scripture says there's a time to heal, and everybody's time to heal is a little bit different. And we were talking about that on the way over here because Ken's had some issues in his body all week, and I said, a lot of it's you finishing up. It's not just losing his dad, but finishing up the house and getting that finished. And I said, when I watch people go through funerals, that kind of stuff, and you can tell they're thriving off adrenaline. And then at a certain point, you give your body the permission to feel it, and because he never stays out of work. You know, he could lose a leg, and he'll like, I'm going into work. He's, Jackie's cut from that cloth. Like, that's what I'm talking. And you say I'm not here. You'll sleep in order room service. I feel you. You're more like. I'm like, they're going to be fine without me. But I forgot the exact number, but like there's X amount of work orders that he and the guys get. It's a team of how many guys? Six of you? And they all live right around there. He lives in Atlanta, so he drives and is in the office before any of them are there. And if they were counting their orders they had done. Is it okay for me to tell this? I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't think they're going to be streaming. But like if the work orders, like one of them had done 22, one had done 23, Ken had done like 157. But it was like 3 times whatever, and because they were saying, how many have you done? He said, I don't know, I never look. And he was like, I said, of course he was. Y'all better recognize. My point is, when he stays home, wow, you're really processing. So you got to give everybody, and sometimes there's not a lot you can say. Sometimes you just have to wait outside the Garden of Gethsemane and let them sweat their drops of blood, and you wait with them an hour, and that's really all you can do. I think sometimes when everybody tries to encourage you or even just tell you, oh, it'll get better, whatever, it nearly sends a verbal cue that what you're feeling doesn't matter. And I think sometimes our intentions are good because we want to cheer everybody up, we want to fix everybody, And sometimes you just need to it's okay to let somebody be sad. It's okay to let somebody, not too much, but I mean, a little bit of it. Like I can tell if I get sad, people get really mad at me. I mean, they're just like furious. Like, how dare you? You're the positive guy. I'm like, would you leave me alone could you give me 10 minutes of feeling human? And so there's my sermon for today. Thank you for coming. No. What'd you say? We are going to jump right into it, but a couple of things. Our outreach this month, of course, is Operation Smile, which it's so cool what they do. If you go, like I said, I'm not going to show it on the big screen because the images are unsettling. But if you go to their website and see these babies that are born with extreme cleft palates, and I can't even imagine how they do it. But there's a surgery that, I mean, without this surgery, these kids would have no quality of life. They can't even chew food or anything. And so I love that we're supporting something like this that I think, we can't fix all the babies in the world, but if we could do a few of them, they're like, yeah, well, that's good. Put that out there in the universe. So that's good. I don't have an event for March, but thank you for those of you that have RSVP'd for the event. I'm finishing up. I wanted to do one more painting, and I wanted a square canvas, and I wanted a particular size. And we went over there Friday. I was thinking I could get it in my car, but I couldn't. And they said, the sign said the canvases were 60% off, so I said, this is supposed to be on sale. And she said, I don't think so. I said, the sign says it. So she gave it to me 60% off. Well, then I had to bring it back in because I couldn't get it in the car. I said, well, we'll come back tomorrow. So we took Ken's yesterday thinking it would get in his. It did not. And I'd already been through a thing with them again because she was going to sell me at the full price. I said, no, you sold me this yesterday at 60% off. Do you have a receipt? I said, no, but I'm a member here. If you look on the thing, you should be able to see. So she did. Go out there, can't get it in. And it was one of those things that I'm leaving out several details. But let's just say there's a point where you're like, as God is my witness, I'm getting this canvas to that studio today. So I told him he was not feeling good. I said, take me home. You go back to bed. I'm going to figure it out. I'm calling Jared. Are you back in town? You got your van? Yeah, but Christina's got it. I'm like, oh, forget that noise. If I cannot wait on her. I mean, I'm sorry. I love her, but I can't wait on her to bring a van back. That could be next year sometime. So I wouldn't say that if she was here, but I'm just telling you. So I said, if somehow the planets line up and you get your van back soon, call me and help me get this canvas. Okay. Well, he did. So I go to U-Haul. Asked the guy, can I get that van right there? He said, everything's reserved. I said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, sir, I just need this van to drive over to Piedmont Road and pick up a canvas and take it to Ponce de Leon. I can be back in an hour. He said, are you sure you can be back in an hour because it's reserved? I said, I promise. I'll be back. And I got it there. Somehow, I got it in there, and some guy was walking by. I said, sir, could you take a picture of me with this canvas, please? Because I would like to say to myself once again, you do what you want to do. I was like, I'm getting the canvas over there. You heard me? And I did. So you didn't need all of that, but I haven't slept, and I'm a little delirious. So there you have it. And somehow I'm smiling. I was going to look more perturbed than that, but anyway, the plan is I want to get everything out of there by the 31st, so I don't have to pay rent on the studio for April, and I've got to move all the pieces. What did you tell me, Avery? I got 29 to hang, and like 78 altogether. So I got to get all that done on that Saturday. I've paid for half of the studio. I got to pay the other half for that day. These things must be done delicately. I asked Skip, I said, if I get all this stuff out of here on that Saturday, can I go ahead and put it in there, keep it there till Tuesday, and not have to pay rent prorated on these days? He said, works for me. Good. So this next painting will be the greatest painting I have ever done. And then I may not paint again. That may be it. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Huh? No. No. Well, it was dormant for a long time, and then I brought it back, and so we'll see. Who knows? You know, this time next week, I could walk in here and tell you someone has given us a building and it has place for my studio and our jazz club and Metron on Sundays, and I've got several. I'm going to have to employ several people, and you know, who knows? That could happen. What? Agreed? Billy Graham might have left it to me in his will. You know, I don't have any proof of this to show, but I was on the cover of Decision magazine in 1972. When I first started preaching, the Billy Graham Crusade came to the Atlanta Stadium, and I was one of their counselors, and it actually taught me a lot. It was very Baptist-oriented Roman road witnessing, but it taught me a lot about how to do one-on-one canvassing with people. It was really very opportune timing. And there was a picture of me on Decision Magazine leading someone to Christ, and I have no copy of it now. I have all these things. It sounds like I'm making stuff up. Like now you have video of everything. Now I go to Kroger and I'm taking video of it. But I got all these other things that, like Judah and I went to Obama's inauguration, and this is before I was taking pictures with my phone. I've got one little picture that we found some guy in a crowd, and Judah standing up on a step, and it looks like he's like 3 feet taller than me. That's the only picture I have of it. You wouldn't even know where we are. Now I take pictures. That's why I take pictures of everything now. Everything all the time. You don't even know it. I'm photographing you right now. It's just me. I believe that's everything. If we can get my setup here. A couple of you wrote about paying it forward, so thank you for that. We don't have a lot of, I don't think we have any pictures to post, but thank you for being faithful to do that. And we'll get officially started for the podcast now. Charles. We ready? Those of you that are just now tuning into the podcast, we welcome you, coming to you live from Metron in historic, beautiful Midtown ATL. And this month, we're not really doing a teaching series. We're doing mostly a meditation, but I'm going to give you a little instruction about meditation. Let me say this before I share a couple of scriptures with you, and then we'll get right into it. And Charles, whatever music you've got, we'll kind of do what we did. I think we did about 24 minutes last week, which is that's very good. And let me give you some practical stuff. If you fall asleep, it's okay. If you snore, it's not. So if someone next to you snores, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, I might fall asleep today because, I mean, I've had about 2 hours, if that. It's not. I think when I went to that first meditation with Dr. Dispenza, I think I fell asleep a little bit, and it was fine. It's like I kind of came in and out of it, and I don't think I was that when I was aware that I had dozed off, the person next to me wasn't glaring at me, so I assume I wasn't making any noise. But if someone does that, you can just feel free. I give you permission, and tell them not to be offended. You can just put your hand on their arm and just make them aware of it. But it's okay. It's okay to be relaxed. Let me, 3 things I want to share with you very quickly. One of them is this scripture. It's out of The Voice, and it's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15. And in the Voice translation, it says, in returning and rest you will be saved. In quietness and trust you will find strength. King James says, in quietness and in confidence is your strength. The actual context, it's said in a rebuke. It's God speaking to the nation through Isaiah, and he says, in quietness is your strength, but you wouldn't have it. In other words, he says you wouldn't be quiet. But the truth of it is right there, that the strength is in the quietness. I keep something going all the time. For one thing is because I deal with some ringing in my ear, so I have a tendency just to keep music going all the time just to keep me not aware of it. But sometimes there's just too much noise going on. And I'm used to noise. I mean, I live right downtown, and I mean, there are sirens all night long. I mean, I live in a noisy world. But what I'm talking about is sometimes there's too much spiritual noise. I nearly think there's just too much talking and not enough listening. And even if your ideas of prayer are very conventional, prayer is supposed to be a dialogue. It's not just supposed to be you dictating orders to God. It's supposed to be a give and take. I will tell you this. Something interesting happened this morning before I get to the second scripture. I had to leave kind of in the middle of the night to go take care of something. And got back home around 7:30 maybe. And I was going to try to lay down on the couch and doze off, but I could tell I wasn't going to. And I needed some direction. I needed it's a situation that I thought I need some wisdom on this. And I've never done this quite this way before. It was kind of interesting. I can't remember when I've picked up a leather-bound Bible and opened it. If I look at scriptures, I'm online, I'm on my device. I hardly ever use a conventional Bible because you know how I am. I'm all over the translations, whatever. But there's a big. It's not really a family Bible. It's a Dake Bible, and I know Dake had his limitations, and I don't agree with a whole lot of his commentary. But it's a big Bible that apparently my mom's siblings gave to my grandfather as a gift. Must have been a Father's Day gift in 1965 because they've all written their names in there, each of the aunt and uncle and the kids' names to our dad. And I think some years later he must have given it to my mom. I don't know if she asked for it or whatever. But today I thought, well, I'm not going to go to sleep, and I've got a lot to process. So I went over and picked up that Bible out of the bookcase, and I'm long past doing the thing where you open up and put your finger there because you can mess with your head big time. You know, like you're going through something and you open it up and it'll say something like, "Yea, the fault lieth with thee, and thou shalt be gnashed." And you know, it's like you can read way too much into it. So I'm long past that. But I felt my grandfather's energy on it because it was his Bible. And I picked it up and I said, "Granddaddy, I need you to talk to me. Tell me what to do about this situation." And I opened the Bible like 3 different places, and they were the most beautiful. They were all pertinent to what I've been dealing with all night, and will still have to deal with this afternoon. They were all it was like scriptures like one of them was in 6 troubles, yea, 7, the Lord will deliver you. They were all like really powerful stuff like that. Very cathartic kind of stuff. And I did 3 in a row. And I read the whole chapter. One of them was Psalm 27, which is so beautiful. It starts with, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom then shall I be afraid?" I mean, there's hardly anything you could go through that you wouldn't find something in that chapter that it would be relevant. And I just read the whole thing, and there's one verse in there, and I'm reading out of the King James, because that's what Granddaddy used that he quoted. And I just felt like I wasn't picking arbitrary scriptures out of the Bible. I was having a conversation with my grandfather, who's part of the cloud of witnesses. And it was his Bible. And it was like he was saying, "Well, turn over here. Let me show you this." And one of them was, "I had fainted unless I had lived to see the hand of the Lord in the land of the living." It was just beautiful. I hadn't read those passages, especially the Psalms in Elizabethan English, that just really, it's not usually what resonates with me, but today it was just what I needed. And I thought it really gave me peace. And I thought, well, this is one of those situations that I have to believe some things get worse before they get better. And I'm just going to choose to believe that about this situation. And every scripture really, it's nearly like as I opened it, I thought, please don't let me open this up and make this thing worse for me. Darkness on every side, go kill yourself, something like that. It's like none of that. It was all very just, when you're kind of in that fragile state where you just like, God, go easy on me. You know what I mean? Just, I don't need the sword right now. I need the oil and the wine. And I got it. And I believe I want to link that with this. In quietness and in confidence is your strength. Second scripture, it's just very simply the little phrase that Jesus said in John 14:1. He says, King James says, let not your heart be troubled. Here it says, do not let your hearts be troubled, distressed, or agitated. And one thing that I've learned from meditation is the whole thing about if you can inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, not nitric acid, nitric oxide, goes to your muscles and relaxes you. And I've noticed a couple times lately when I couldn't go to sleep easily, I would just lay there and think, okay, I've learned some things about breathing. Let me just do that. And I lay there and go, and then hold it. And I can feel oxygenation coming into my muscles. And because, when you're processing a lot of things, you don't realize it. But even when you lay down to sleep, you're still sleeping tense. You're not really relaxed. You're laying there thinking, I got to get some sleep. And it's not even like you're officially worried about something. It's just you're just aware of a lot of stuff going on and a lot of people that need you and are calling on you. And that's why this confidence and rest is really, really important. And quietness and confidence is your strength. If you don't learn to meditate, prayer is great. But if you don't learn to meditate, you're not going to be strong. I know prayer warriors that are basket cases. And yet I know people that are very meditative that seem to be calm in the storm. You know what I mean? They're very centered because in quietness and confidence is their strength, and they let not their heart be troubled. And then I want to connect the dots to this one, the great poet Osho. I just really liked this quote. He says, you exist in time, but you belong to eternity. You are a penetration of eternity into the world of time. You are deathless, living in a body of death. And what that made me think of, Paul said, the outward man perishes, but the inward man is renewed day by day. I don't like to say you're in a body of death, but the thing is, we all are aging, and it is appointed unto man once to die. But I love this, that it says, you are deathless, living in a body of death. Your consciousness knows no death and no birth. It is only your body that is born and dies. But you are not aware of your consciousness. You are not conscious of your consciousness. And that is the whole art of meditation, becoming conscious of consciousness itself. I don't know how to describe that, but when I read the last line, I thought, I know that that's true. I've done teachings about being pre-existent, and we've even considered the possibility that maybe we agreed when to come here, and Bishop Pearson has a whole teaching on that. And I don't have any way to prove it, but something in me resonates with that. Jeremiah, God told Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. I knew you as Jeremiah. So there was an existence of you before you were born, and there will be an existence of you after you die. I think that's what you were feeling with your father. Your father, his body died. He didn't die. And there's a big difference. Don't you feel that anytime, you go to see a loved one, you look at their body laying in a casket and you look at it and you think, well, that's not them. I mean, you have a connection to the flesh, and you can look at them and weep like Jesus wept when he saw Lazarus' tomb. And yet when you look at them, you think, yeah, I could bury this because this isn't the person that I loved. This was the house they lived in. It's kind of that way. Have you ever been moving out of a house and you have to go back in there? You've nearly all done, but you'll remember, we forgot stuff in the attic or something. And you go over there to get one more load and you realize, I don't live here anymore. It's like the spirit has already left the house and you don't feel a connection to it. Well, your body is a house that you live in until you don't need it anymore. Now we're all fixing it up, trying to keep it. I mean, I was reading last night, things to stop aging, and it's all stuff that but it's stuff that you need to remember, like drink lots of water and blah, blah, blah. But no matter how much you push it back, it's, come on now. I mean, my mail yesterday was Social Security and AARP. And I'm like, I get it. Y'all know I'm about to turn 60. Got it. And they're all about Medicare and when you could do this, whatever. I'm like, this is my new normal. I used to get magazines and hip stuff. Now it's like AARP. I'm like, okay, y'all have made your point. Got it. But in the meantime, we want to try to get as much of that 120 as we can. I was watching, night before last, they were playing Frank Sinatra's movie, Hole in the Head. And there's a comedian on, I can't remember her name now, but she just died recently, and she was 105. And it's always encouraging when you read, like, wow, and I saw her in an interview not too long before she died, and she was very, very lucid and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I've already talked longer than I meant to. So let's bring these lights down. And I know there are hundreds of people thronging to get in here. But somehow, Wellington, you've got to keep them at bay. Don't let them in as much as they are lined up around the block. Do not. Say what? Oh, you know what? Maybe they are. They could be. That is. I was being facetious. That is actually in the realm of possibility. All right. I think you all know. The drill. So, both feet on the floor, please, and empty your lap, and sit up straight, and we're going to get in position. Nobody's going to be photographing you, so don't be self-conscious. Go ahead and start me some music, Charles, whatever you got that's meditative. Music takes you somewhere I don't know any other medium that does what music does. The sitting up straight is about aligning yourself with the best version of yourself. Probably want to close your eyes. Meditation's mostly about breathing. So let's breathe in through our nose and hold it. Exhale through your mouth. We're going to get that nitric oxide into our muscles and start relaxing them. So we're going to inhale, hold it. We're going to exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you can't breathe through your nose, at least just breathe in a way that's consistent. But if you can inhale nasally and exhale through your mouth, that's the best case. Spirit and breath, those words are used interchangeably in Holy Writ. So we're going to connect with spirit by our breath. God breathed into Adam. Jesus breathed on his disciples. The music is a little mystical, and that's good. This is a mystical experience. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that word. Keep breathing. We're going to become conscious of consciousness. Don't worry about trying to control your thoughts. They'll settle down in a minute. If they move somewhere, just gently pull them back to yourself. Calm your mind. Calm your body. Be aware that you're not just breathing out of your lungs, you're breathing out of the pores of your body. You're breathing out through your organs, breathing through your skin. You want to get oxygen to your bones, to your muscles, to your ligaments. Some of you have been doing this long enough now that you can get right into it. You can probably do this in about 4 or 5 breaths, and you're already there. If it takes you a little longer, don't stress. You'll get there. I'm going to start talking less, wean you off of my voice for a few minutes. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The longer you meditate, the more you'll get in touch with your conscious self. You are more than your physical body. Align yourself with the you that's always been here. John said, "Let that abide in you which you heard from the beginning." You were in the beginning in God. So tap into that consciousness. The Spirit was hovering over the face of the deep. That's where your consciousness is. You're a part of that eternal part of God. The breathing takes you through a door to rediscover your divinity. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is in you. Life is in you. Light is in you. Peace is in you. Let your shoulders relax. Sit deeply into that seat. Be completely relaxed. external. It's in you. Go deep inside yourself and find what you need. We have this treasure in earthen vessels. Go deep within yourself. With joy you shall draw water out of the wells of salvation. Quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Let not your heart be troubled. While you're in this meditative state, I want you to think about one person that you're connected to. Chelsea sang 2 or 3 songs about being connected to someone. The lyrics were things like, I love you, I'm not going to let you go, that sort of thing. I want you to connect with one person in the spirit realm that you know needs peace right now. I don't want you to intercede for them. I want you to meditate peace to them. I want you to communicate with them, not with a text on your phone. I want you to go out somewhere in consciousness and find them and give them peace. Speak, not several people. I want you to think about one person that needs peace right now. I want you to send peace to them. There's no distance in the spirit realm. I want you to settle them down, settle their spirit down. Just in your mind, call them. Let them meet you out there somewhere. I want you to visualize yourself giving them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, like literally putting your mouth on their mouth and breathing peace into them. It's the kind of thing you probably will never be able to do with them in the physical realm, so do it there. That's how God created Adam. He put his mouth on Adam's mouth and breathe the breath of life. Breathe the breath of life into that person right now. Visualize them. Breathe into them. Give them peace. Rivers of healing flow out of you to that person, just one person. Visualize them, heal them. Heal their spirit. Release them and come back into yourself, come back into your own consciousness. Things can be fixed in that other realm that can't be fixed through conversation or through counseling or therapy. All those things are fine, but some things can't be fixed there. They have to be fixed in that other realm. Whether we call it the spirit realm or the secret place of the Most High, whatever it is. For yourself, I want your body to be well. I want you to imagine a healing light starting at the top of your head and just going all through your body, healing disease, removing infection. Let the light come down your skull, into your jawbone, down your back of your neck, through your spinal column. Let light go through your shoulders, the backs of your arms, your forearms. Imagine light flowing through your hands, through your fingers. Light going down the front of your torso, down your back, chest, your breast, your belly. Light flowing all the way down around your hips, your private areas, down your legs, your knees, your joints, all the way down through your feet, out the ends of your toes. Healing light, wellness, wholeness, the light of God. He sent His word and healed them. Your youth is renewed like the eagles. Now let the light start again at the top of your head and go through for emotional healing. Wherever you're harboring pain and hurt, let the light go right there, right now. Where is it? Is it in your heart? Where are you carrying pain? Where are you carrying rejection? Where are you carrying harsh words that have been spoken against you? Let the light go to that place and expel it. Be well in your spirit, be well in your soul, be well in your body. Nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Relaxed, you're centered. You're in the flow. You're connected. You're tuned in. You're seated in heavenly places now. You're well. You're whole. You're safe. In quietness and in confidence is your strength. Quietness and in confidence is your strength. Just quietly come back into this awareness. Start opening your eyes if you need to stand up and stretch, you can do that. You just want to sit there for a minute. Start gradually bringing the lights back up. I like these chimes. Very cool. Beautiful. That was good. Thank you, Charles. Good. Good work. Not work, but you know what I mean. Good. It was good. I don't overthink things that I say during that because I think I'm just going to say what I feel impressed to do, but I think there's a place you can meet somebody outside of you, outside of them. Go meet somewhere else and send that peace to them. Send that healing. There's other people who need healing today. Send that healing to them. Was this different for you today than last week's? How? What do you think? Or are you too relaxed to talk? I mean, it's a holy moment, so. Karen said last week was more about her receiving. This week is more about her giving out. I get that. Jackie, you going to say something? She was saying it was more internal, getting outside. Okay. Anybody else? What you feeling? Allegra? That's interesting. Allegra was saying that she wasn't here last week and she streamed, and she said the meditation brought up emotions that she didn't know that she had and made things come to the surface. That I don't want to put words in your mouth. What are you saying? And it made you deal with things that you didn't know were there. That's good. I mean, I don't think meditation is the end-all, be-all to every problem, but I think there's a lot more to it than we've given it credit for. And I think if you allow yourself to get into a meditative state, because I really believe this is what Jesus was doing when he would go away from the disciples. I don't picture him with a prayer list praying petitions. I just don't picture Jesus walking back and forth speaking in tongues. I picture him meditating. I think when he was walking on the water, he walked out of a meditative state. Because remember he had gone somewhere and all of a sudden they see him walking on water. It's like that's, we can talk about things like levitation and that sort of thing, but they did happen. They do happen. And it's good. I'm glad y'all get it. Oh, really? She said the person that she visualized met it just texted her and said, I don't know what happened, but I suddenly feel so good. I just felt that really strong. It's like go find them and resuscitate them. You hear that in the spirit? Because you can't walk up to somebody and put your mouth on them. But that's the Hebrew word N-A-P-H-A-C-H, nafach. And it's if you follow the Genesis narrative, God creates a facsimile of himself and literally inflates it. Like he puts his mouth on the mouth of his creation and blows life into it. And so when Adam's eyes open, he's looking face to face with himself. He's looking face to face with God. So there is a spiritual type of breath you can breathe to somebody. Anybody else get anything that you want to share? Right. Right. Oh, wow. She was talking about how even with cancer, when a body's properly oxygenated, the cancer can't live in it. The oxygen just, it's like removing a rock and there's stuff under there, but when the air and the sunlight gets to it, it automatically, and that's the way your physical body is. When spirit, breath, wind goes through you, it has healing properties. Yeah, good. I love it. Yeah. Jackie said it helps you get in touch with your power. That's my point. It's like conventional Christian wisdom would be pray your power up. And there's a place for that. I get the whole thing about Paul writing to Timothy and saying, fan the flame, stir up the gift that's in you. There's a place for that. But there's also an even higher consciousness, is to recognize that it's already in you. It doesn't have to be stirred up. You have to reveal it. And it's already everything that you need. And even with all the, I've always felt like all the superhero stuff comes out of people's desire for divinity. And every one of these, remember back in the day, back in the 80s when Batman came out and it was like the biggest opening ever. And now it's like everyone that comes out is the biggest opening ever. And Black Panther has a whole other thing connected to it, but it speaks to people wanting to get in touch with their inner power, especially people who have been told they were powerless. And when you find out, no, I do have power in me, you say, well, that's superstitious, that's fairy tales. No, it's a desire to be realize that you're greater on the inside. Greater is He that's in you. And everybody thinks you're Clark Kent, but secretly you're really Superman. It's awesome. All right. Are y'all okay to drive? I don't want a cop to pull you over and go, ma'am, have you been meditating? Medicating or meditating? I'm not going to play I feel like if I play the ending, it's going to break the flow. So you know what to do. Thank you to those of you that give online. If you're making a check, make it JESM. If you have cash, pay it forward. If you want to bless Chelsea, since she's stayed, you're welcome to do that. It's fine with me. Part of me doesn't want to let you go. It's good. I'm feeding off your energies. Give me a minute. I'm feeling you. Can I have some of that? Do you mind? Do you mind if I plug in and take a little of that juice? You know what I mean? It's like, thank God for streaming. That's awesome. But there's something about not only seeing each other, but experiencing something together, experiencing a meditation together. It just does something that I don't even know how to describe. Peace that passes, yes, it passes understanding, no doubt. Okay, that's good. About how long was that meditation? Did we go longer than last week? Did we really? Wow. Y'all were really good. Nobody got antsy. I mean, you got right into it, like grown folks. So what? Good. All right. Well, you're going to have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. Whatever needs to fall into place is going to fall into place, and whatever needs to get done is going to get done. And you have energy that we could call it supernatural or preternatural. The thing is, it's all in you. But when you take the lid off and you let it come out of the heart are the issues of life, you're going to have a very, very productive week. You're beautiful. I love you. Peace. See you next week.